Thank you, Naveen Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everybody. Hope I'm audible. Sadhuj, you're able to hear me, right?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. This is our Sunday's feast, ISKCON Columbus program. And the program is for the next 1 hour. We will have a special discourse by Our Grace Vrajabhakti Mataji. Krishna Subdues Kaliya. That's the subject. And at around 12:30, we will break for the question and answer session. So that will be for 15 minutes. And around 12:45, we have some few important announcements to make as we close out this calendar year 2020 and we go on to 2021. So it'll be really grateful. I'll be grateful if you all can stay till that time and enjoy this program. I'll have a few words about Our Grace Vrajabhakti Mataji. She's a disciple of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and she has been with this community for a long time. And probably I don't even know how long they have been associated. It's been definitely a couple of decades. And most of you must be knowing about Vrajabhakti Mataji. So I don't have any specific introduction to make. But only thing I can say is their family has been very instrumental for all the congregation here, and they have done great service. Whatever departments you want to name it, deity department, festivals, any kind of preaching, and they're all the including His Grace Naveen Krishna Prabhu, then Narahari, and that's sons Narahari and Parikshit. So it's an amazing family, and I think you will hear in this discourse. So Brajakti Mata, you can take it from here if you want. you need anything, please let me know. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. So I'll just sing Jai Madhav just once. I don't know. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaramdana Yashodanandana Braja Janaramdana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Natavara Radhe Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jai Shri Shri Radha Natavara ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Guru Maharaj ki Jai. So I'm going to read a text from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 16, Text 16. Tams tatha katharan vikshya Bhagavan Madhavo balaha prahasya kimchin novacha prabhavagno mujasya saha. The translation and purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Supreme Lord Balarama, the master of all transcendental knowledge, smiled and said nothing when he saw the residents of Vrindavan in such distress, since he understood the extraordinary power of his younger brother. Purport. Sri Balarama is the plenary expansion of Lord Krishna and is thus non-different from him. They are in fact the same absolute truth manifest in separate forms. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Lord Balaram was laughing because he thought, Krishna never cares to play with me in my form of Seshanaga, but now he is playing with this ordinary mundane snake named Kaliya. The question may arise as to why Krishna and Balaram allowed their loving devotees to suffer such great anguish during Krishna's temporary imprisonment within the coils of Kaliya. It must be remembered that because the inhabitants of Vrindavan were completely liberated souls, they did not experience material emotions. When they saw their beloved Krishna in an apparent danger, their love for him, intensified to the highest degree, and thus they merged completely into the ecstasy of love for him. The whole situation has to be seen from the spiritual point of view, or it will not be seen at all. This actually translated by Prabhupada disciples, because by that time Prabhupada's left the planet, so it's my misquote in the beginning that I said it's translated by Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Rukmini Mataji, for bringing that up. I appreciate it. So before I share what I heard from this pastime, what I heard about this pastime, let me get some mercy and grab some blessings from all of you. Om Agnana Timidandhasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuram Miltandena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, I'm finding it. So we're going to discuss about this pastime. I actually listening to one of the old Kartik Yatra lectures from my spiritual master. So somehow I was inspired by this particular pastime. And as the year end is coming, going through so much tribulations and difficulties of this year, and we're entering into another year. So I thought I can relate some of the poisonous effects of our Kaliya into our lives through this corona. So I thought we'll discuss this pastime and learn some things and increase our faith in Krishna somehow or the other. So everybody knows this pastime, so we'll just go through the pastime, because recent times we are listening to a lot of Zoom calls with so much deeper philosophy. I thought we'll discuss some nectarine pastimes of Krishna. That's another reason I just picked up a pastime. So Krishna, he appears in this world, especially to attract the fallen souls through his pastimes, mainly his devotees. So when we hear about these pastimes, when we discuss about these pastimes, the natural attraction that we have within our heart for Krishna, it automatically reawakens. That's the one way to reawaken the love for Krishna. Chanting is there, and another is through his pastimes. So when Krishna was in his Pauganda Leela, when he was like, I think 7-8 years old probably, and so he and his friends, they were herding the cows, and that day Balram did not go to the forest. Only Krishna and few of the cowherd boys, they took the cows and they went to the forest. Balram kept home that day. So when they went to the forest, they were herding the cows, and it was summer. It is sunny, very hot in Vrindavan in summer, very, very hot. So there was like scorching sun. And everybody started, after some time, everybody started feeling very thirsty. So they really want to drink some water, and they were looking where to drink. And they came across this lake, which is part of Yamuna, but Kaliya is just kept the water, stopped there, right there. So they saw this lake. I'm like, oh, let's go drink some water. But this lake, when it appeared in such a way that everywhere there is a fog around this lake. That fog is nothing but the fog coming from the poison of Kaliya. But cowherd boys, not knowing everything, they just went and they drank water. Cows drank water. So when they drank water, like usually what happens when we feel thirsty, we really don't mind to drink water, whatever it is. It's cold water, hot water, we need some water, right? So say if you're going in the desert, like if you're in the desert, and if we're really, really thirsty and we really want some water, and if somebody comes and gives a diamond, how do we feel about it? Or somebody comes and gives some nice parathas, how do we feel about it? We really don't want paratha, we really don't want diamond, we really don't want money. That's what we are hankering for throughout the life. But when we're in the desert, if somebody comes and gives a diamond, we really don't want diamond, because we want money, all these. But at that moment, we need only one thing, that is water. But at the same time, if somebody comes and gives a drop of water, that makes the thirst more and more agitated, because it's not enough and it doesn't quench the thirst. So it will become more and more. So in every day in our lives, we have to think each and every single minute, what quenches the thirst of that soul? What is that quenches? We are trying to eat so much, we are trying to listen to so many other music, so many things, so many readings, so many things happening, but is that quenching the thirst of that soul that is longing for Krishna? So every single day we have to think what quenches the thirst, and that helps to become more Krishna consciousness for us. So anyway, so they all drank water, and immediately they all fell down dead. All the cows, all the cowherd boys, and everybody fell down dead. So when Krishna saw them in that condition, his compassion, the deep compassion that he has, it awakened, and he said, what happened? How can this happen to my friends? How can these cows can be killed? And then he was thinking, who did this? What happened? And then he could, of course, he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. see, so he could realize what happened because they drank the water. That's why it happened. So that's, his compassion is, he felt so much compassion for them. So see, even in our condition, when we take our condition, so when we forget our relationship with Krishna, when we try to forget our relationship, most of us, we forgot our relationship with Krishna. We're trying to revive the relationship with Krishna. But when we forget that relationship with Krishna, we are obviously spiritually asleep. We are unconscious spiritually. We really don't have, anything that is relating to Krishna at that moment. But what awakens that, like these cowherd boys and cows, they're all dead. But how did Krishna brought them back to life? Just by his glance. Just Krishna glanced at them and he brought them to life. So when even in our lives, we needed that glance of Krishna for us to reawaken our love for Krishna. So, but that glance, how it comes? Because at least I am not so pure that Krishna can directly glance at me and then reawaken that love for me. I am not there. So my only hope is devotees. My only hope is his representatives, Krishna's representatives, the pure devotees, Krishna's, all the Vaishnavas. By serving them, by pleasing them, Krishna may glance at me to reawaken that, love for love that I have dormant inside of me. And that is the very principle of bhakti, serving. And serving, I was listening to one lecture of Maharaj. He said, service is something that we should do before even the need arises. I don't know how many lifetimes it takes for me to practice this one sentence. Service is something that we do before even the need arises. So when we find devotees, they need some help, or even in family life, outside of the family life, we need to do the service even before the need arises. That means we are always constantly attentive about the needs of the Vaishnavas, about the needs of other devotees, and then that's how we do the service. So anyway, so Krishna, he brought everybody back to life, but now he needs to take care of it, because it's today them, tomorrow some Vrajavasis can come, tomorrow more cows can come and drink that water. So he needs to fix the issue. So how do we fix this issue? So Krishna is like, okay, let me do this. So what caused this poison is, there is a deep inside that lake is a serpent, Kaliya. So the Kaliya is residing in that lake, and then it caused this poisonous water, and then there are even his wife's Nagapatnis are there. So much poison that the water was actually bubbling, it seems. It's like bubbling like a hot water. When we try to boil the water, how the water boils, that's how it's boiling. So it's bubbling so much, that much poisonous. Even the birds, when they were flying over that lake, because of this fog of poison, when they were breathing, going through that lake, the birds were dying. That much poison was there. So Krishna, he jumped into the lake. He jumped into the lake. How did he jump into the lake? There was one kadamba tree. So most of the greenery, most of the plants, most of the trees, shrubs around the lake, most of them were dead because of this poison. But this one kadamba tree was alive because, Garuda, he put some nectar in it previously. So this one thing is holding on to there, waiting for Krishna to come, waiting for Krishna to climb on it. So when Krishna, he climbed onto this kadamba tree, he tied his belt, he slapped his both arms as if he's ready for wrestling. And he's actually showing his friends, just see what I can do, And then, he jumped into the lake. So what we are learning from this kadamba tree first, kadamba tree was standing there. We heard many times that kadamba tree is there. Krishna climbed on the kadamba tree, and then he jumped into the kadamba tree. So what we're learning is the kadamba tree, it was actually waiting and anticipating to serve Krishna. So when we are eager and anticipating to serve Krishna and please Krishna, And that will definitely happen. And Krishna will be pleased knowing that we're waiting for that opportunity to serve him. And then he can protect us from all different kinds of polluting atmospheres that comes in our lives. Like the Kadamba trees, Krishna is protecting through the nectar, through Garuda, however, but he's protecting it because it has that anticipation to serve. So when we have the anticipation, and Krishna also can protect us, Krishna can protect us through all these polluting atmospheres that comes around us. So Krishna climbed on this tree and he jumped into the lake. When he jumped, it's not like our jump, right? It's just he jumped and the water splashed so hard and it created tumultuous sound also along with it. And then Kaliya, within the inside of the lake, he was thinking, what caused this? What caused this? What is this? Who is disturbing this lake? Somebody is definitely, trespassing my lake. Who is this? And then as soon as he listened to that sound and the Krishna is splashing the water, it's like waves of the ocean. It's becoming like that. And immediately Kaliya came out to see Krishna. What is happening? And Krishna is here with the beautiful lotus eyes and yellow garments, and he has, nice peacock feather on his hair. And then he was here, and then Kaliya looked at him, he's so beautiful. But Kaliya could not appreciate the beauty of Krishna at that moment. Kaliya could not understand who Krishna is at that moment. So Kaliya said, how dare you jump into my lake? What do you want? And Krishna just started playing. He didn't care what Kaliya is saying. He didn't care what Kaliya is asking. He was just swimming around and playing, and and finally Kaliya said, what do you want? Why are you here? And then Krishna is looking at Kaliya. Krishna is making Kaliya more agitated. To make him more agitated, Krishna, he drank the water. He drank the water from that lake. And then he started spitting, like how the kids, they put the water and there's a like that. And he's telling Kaliya indirectly, what do you think your water can do to me? It cannot do anything to me. And he started going around. And finally, the Kaliya, he bit Krishna on his chest. But still Krishna just slipped through and then he went. But Kaliya, he wrapped Krishna through his coils. Using his coils, he wrapped Krishna. And meanwhile, all the cowherd boys and the cows and the animals on the shore, they are crying. Oh, Krishna is gone. Krishna is gone. What happened to Krishna? Where is Krishna? Oh, Krishna is dead. Krishna is dead. They're all crying. And then Krishna, through his Yogamaya potency, he created many inauspicious omens in Vrindavan. The earth started trembling. It's like earthquakes. Meteors started falling from the sky, and then, many inauspicious omens. All of a sudden, it became very dark. So many inauspicious omens came. So then Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, there in the village, they are thinking, what happened all of a sudden? Why all these inauspicious omens are coming? Oh, what happened to Krishna? Their first thought, all the Vrajavasis, gopis, everybody's first thought, what happened to Krishna? Because they loved Krishna so much. Everything for them is Krishna. They're like, what happened to Krishna? And they're like, first question is Balaram there with Krishna today? Because Balaram is big brother, so he will protect him. But is Balaram there today with Krishna? No, Balaram is not there. Then they're like, oh no. So if the Balaram is not there, means definitely some inauspicious things happen to Krishna. Krishna is lifeless. Krishna is dead. And then everybody, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, and everybody, they started running, finding Krishna. How they're trying to figure out where is Krishna? How do they know which part of the forest Krishna is? So they started looking at the footprints of Lord Krishna. In Vrindavan, when Krishna walks, Krishna has these special marks on his foot. He has, lotus, he has balikan, he has, the star, and so many other marks he has, So the elephant god is there, the half of the calf hoof print is there. So they were all looking for Krishna, Krishna, and then they're finding those things. They were following. Okay, maybe Krishna has gone this way. Maybe Krishna has gone this way, because nobody steps on Krishna's footprints after he walks. That is the rule of Vrajabasis. All the animals, cows, when they saw those marks of Krishna's lotus feet, they don't step on it. So finally, it led them to this lake. Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, they led them to this lake. And when they came to the lake, they saw all the cowherd boys are crying, and then all the animals are crying, and they're in so much anxiety. And then only one person that was laughing is Balaram. Right? And they don't understand why Balaram is laughing. And Balaram, he was thinking inside of, that's what's the purport we're reading. Krishna never cares to play with me in my form of Seshanaga. Why he's playing with this water snake? That's what he's thinking. Kaliya, it is described that the primary hoots of Kaliya are 101. And then it has thousands of hoots. And then Balaram is laughing. And also I was listening to Maharaj's lecture previously. He was saying, one of the reasons why Balaram was laughing is when Vrajavasis sees Balaram laughing, they know that they should be able to understand that it's not that dangerous. Balaram is laughing, that means Krishna is okay. It's not that dangerous. So to give that faith, to give that confidence to the Vrajavasis, Balaram kept laughing all the time. But at the same time, because Vrajavasi's heart is broken, and when they came, how is Krishna? Krishna is wonderful screenplay, wonderful director, wonderful actor. Krishna is everything. So when Vrajavasis came to the lake, how is Krishna? He is in the coils of Kaliya. How is he? He's not jumping, he's not splashing. He is like lifeless. He was like this, closing his eyes, and he was like this. And Vrajavasis, when they saw Krishna, they were like, oh no, Krishna is dead, killed Krishna. Kaliya killed Krishna. But Balaram is laughing. They don't understand why he is laughing. Krishna is dead. And then they wanted to go jump into the lake and protect Krishna. But then Balaram has to stop everybody. No, don't worry. Nothing will happen. All the gopis looking at Krishna's situation, they were remembering what they did with Krishna. Wow, how beautifully they were playing with Krishna, how nice pastimes they had with Krishna. They were all remembering the beautiful, sweetest pastimes they had with Krishna, and Krishna is now like this. What happened to my dear Krishna? Why he is like this? So, and then they were thinking like this, and they wanted to jump into the river. But then they see Yashoda Maya. She is in totally unconscious situation. She's like kind of losing her life. So they're like, no, we have to stay back and protect Mother Yashoda. So they stayed back trying to treat Mother Yashoda from her pain. And all the cowherd men want to go, and Balaram stopped everybody. And now Krishna knows, okay, the stage is set. Everybody is here. All Vrajavasis are here. Men, women, children, animals, everybody is here. Now it's time for the show. He's like, okay, now I can do it. Now everybody is here to watch me. Now I can do my dance. So then what he did, he expanded a little bit. And Kaliya could not hold, and he could not hold so tight Krishna. So Kaliya, what it let Krishna go. And when Krishna came out of the coils, it's not like immediately he stepped on Kaliya. He started going around. And he made Kaliya run around him so much. Every single time Kaliya thinks, I got him, he's a hair distance away, Maharaj said. A hair. Can you imagine the frustration of Kaliya? A hair distance, he thinks, I got him. And then Krishna is a hair distance away. And then he'll go around again he'll go like that. He made Kaliya so tired. And finally, Krishna jumped onto the Kaliya hoots of the Kaliya. And then he started doing this wonderful, beautiful dance that nobody in the creation ever did. And then he started dancing. He started playing his flute. So when he started playing his flute, automatically the Vrajavasi's life came back. People who were unconscious, they came to life. And he started dancing, and Kaliya started throwing out the blood and vomiting the blood, Kaliya. So even in our lives, when we wanted to purify ourselves, when we want all these anarthas that are sitting in our hearts to go away, we want Krishna to come and dance in our hearts. And how will that happen? It is not going to happen just by saying, Krishna, please come and dance in my heart. Our heart is so dirty. How can I invite Krishna into my heart when my heart is so dirty? I need to clean my heart. I need to make sure that the heart is so clean that Krishna can come and sit on the altar of my heart and dance. So to clean that heart, the process has been given in this age of Kaliya is chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By chanting attentively, because attentive chanting is one of the biggest problem for us. I don't know about everybody else, at least for me, to focus on the holy names. They say, listen to each and every syllable, but I could be able to hear 4 times, 6 times syllables, and then that's it. My mind is already wandering somewhere, what to cook, what to take care of the kids, and what to do for the family, and sometimes something else, some kind of disturbance. So attentive chanting is something that is very, very difficult, but nothing is impossible in the world. As we sincerely, seriously try, Krishna will help us with our endeavors. And recently only we did Kartik month, Damodar Leela. By looking at mother's endeavor, Yashoda Maya's endeavor, working so hard from morning to evening to tie Krishna, he has to surrender to her love and endeavor. So when we endeavor for that attentive chanting, we will be able to do that attentive chanting one day, which helps to purify our heart. Anarthas are not that easy to go. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Master, they're not that easy to go. We may think everything is fine, but when that provoking situation comes, whether between the family members, whether it is outside devotees, within the community of devotees, when the provoking situation comes, are we being matured and dealing with the situation? Are we taking the humble position? At least me, I am really, really struggling in my life with that aspect of my life. When that situation comes, I really don't want to react sometimes, but I end up reacting every single time. After that, I meditate and I beg my spiritual master to give me more strength so that next time when the situation comes, I really don't want to react, rather I wanted to respond. So when we practice that and when we try to chant the holy names in the mood of Trinadapi, Sunichena, Tarorapi, Sahishnana, Amanina, Manadina, Kirtaniya, Sadahari, humble like blade of grass, tolerant like a tree, offering all respects to others and expecting none in return. When we should be able to chant in that mood, then our heart slowly starts getting purified. But every good thing that we wanted to get has a price. When we are going through that purification itself can bring some disturbances because the anarthas are going away, the dirt is going out. So when the dirt is going out, it is not like it's like when you have a room and if you don't open that room for 1 year, as soon as you open the room, what happens? You start coughing and something comes on your face, probably cobwebs, this web, that web, and then when you start brooming, you will start sneezing. Until then, you are healthy, happy, active, but all of a sudden, when you start brooming the room, why are you doing this? Because all the dust accumulated is now coming up onto the surface and then it's going out. So same thing with us. When we start cleaning our hearts, when those anarthas are coming onto the surface, it's difficult for us to, deal with it. But with Krishna's mercy, we can do it. It's possible to do it. So as he danced on Kaliya, he started vomiting the blood. And finally, Nagapatnis, the Kaliya's wives, they came to Krishna. Seeing Kaliya at the verge of death, he's there like he's going to die. And they came and they prayed to Krishna. We have the whole set of Nagapatni prayers in our Bhagavatam, beautiful prayers. So they came and they offered their prayers, begging forgiveness on behalf of Kaliya and asked Krishna to forgive him. And then Kaliya, by listening to the wife's prayers, by listening to wife's asking forgiveness on behalf of him, he came into consciousness. He came into the understanding that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then he himself begged forgiveness from Krishna. And then Krishna said, I forgive you, but you need to leave this lake, leave Yamuna, and go to your island in the ocean, wherever it is, Ramanak Island. And he said, I know you are very worried about Garuda coming and, killing you, but when Garuda sees my footprints on your hoods, he will never touch you. So right now, my instruction for you is leave this lake and go somewhere else, wherever, Ramanak Island, I think it's. So you go to that island and have your family there. So Kaliya leaves offering obeisances, and then Krishna safely comes out of the lake, and then Yamuna restores its original sweetest water's position, and then everybody in Vrindavan is happy. So through these pastimes, different lessons that I took it when I was reading is the first one, it's sincerity and opportunity to look for service. Always look for the opportunity to serve with sincerity, and then Krishna will help us, and then Krishna will be pleased with our service. And then if want us Krishna to come and dance in my heart has to be clean. Without that, I cannot invite Krishna. Even if I invite, there is no place for Krishna to dance because everything is so dirty in my heart. And another principle that I learned from this is when we are spiritually unconscious condition, the glance of Krishna's mercy is the only option for us to be awakened with that spiritual, from that slumber or sleep. But I am not so pure that Krishna will not look at me. So I need Vaishnava's mercy, I need devotees' mercy, who are his representatives. So by serving them, by pleasing them, I am hoping one day Krishna will look at me and give me that glance, so that I get that little purification, and I get that my contaminated condition and consciousness both will be purified, and I'll be able to serve Krishna and all of you in that mood of Trinadapi Sunijana. So those are the primary lessons that I took from this fasting. And then I'm praying at the end of this year. We all went through so much, we lost some relatives, we lost some many wonderful Vaishnavas in the community. So I offer my respectful obeisances to all those departed souls. And I pray that I don't take any of these dear Vaishnavas that are around me granted. And I pray that I will be able to serve all of you with humility and sincerity. And it's the end of the year, so I beg forgiveness from all of you. If I commit any mistakes, if I commit any offenses at your lotus feet, so please forgive me for all of my offenses in the past. And I'm trying to be extra careful with the Vaishnavas these days, because without all of your association and mercy, I have no hope for my life, and I have no hope that I'll be able to please my spiritual master. So I beg your forgiveness. I'm sorry for being emotional. So I pray that you all give me an opportunity to serve you again upcoming year, and forgive me for my mistakes. Thank you. Hare Krishna. If anybody has any questions, we can discuss. If anybody has any comments or questions, we can talk. I think I still have 20 minutes. 12:30 the class ending, right? I still have 15 more minutes, I think. So we can discuss. If not, somebody else can help. If I cannot answer, there are many other Vaishnavas in the call. They can help. So I'll try to answer, but if I cannot answer, there are many other Vaishnavas. They can help us to understand. So we can do it together. So if you have any questions or comments, please.
Thank you, Mother. Thank you for the nice discourse. So I have sent that if somebody wants to ask question, please raise your digital hand, and I will unmute them. So Yeah, it looks like Rukmini Mataji has got a question. Hold on, let me. Rukmini Mataji, you are able to? Yeah, you are unmuted now. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much for that wonderful and beautiful class, Vrajabhakti Prabhu. So I wanted to ask, you were talking about something very important, which is about how we need to purify our hearts and to make it a place for Krishna to dance. And you were also mentioning that we have lost many Vaishnavas this year, and so we need to not take Vaishnavas for granted. So I also want to ask for forgiveness from anyone if I've made any offenses. But this brings me to my I sincerely I want to ask forgiveness from you or anybody else. So let me say that. My question is, so how will we know? So I mean, sometimes we don't even notice until until the opportunity is lost, which many since many Vaishnavas have departed, then we realize, oh, anyone could go at any time. How will we know if we've offended a Vaishnava? Because Vaishnavas are more tolerant than trees. So and actually, and the other thing is that they may not even personally feel offended. It is Krishna who will feel offended by our behavior towards them. So do you have any tips? How can we know what we've done wrong, or that how we can keep ourselves from offending, or knowing when to apologize to Vaishnavas?
Mataji, I don't have any, tips or anything, but I can just say what I do, what I feel. So especially when it coming to, you said it right, that sometimes devotees may not take it, but Krishna may take it, and we don't know that I had that experience in my life, that I didn't even know that I was offending this family, or I was offending this family of devotees. I don't even have a clue that I was doing it, right? So, and then it's going on, it's as normally it's going on, but one day I could feel the way the families, communicating with me or dealing with me is little different than what it was previously, right? So I could see the difference. I'm like, I see some difference in the behavior. So probably I would have done something not knowingly that I'm doing it and I'm hurting them. Right? I did not think that that's going to hurt them. I have absolutely no intention of hurting or anything. But then I realized, okay, I'm doing something. I did something in the past that is causing this family to be a little uncomfortable with me. They were not like this before. So I went and approached the family, because when I do the mistake, I have no hesitation in saying apologies, even if it is needed 100 times. So I went and approached this family and I said, I see some difference. What is going on? And at that moment also, they were a little hesitant to express, because, as you said, we are in this movement and not movement in Columbus for so long. So they probably thought we may get offended by knowing that we behave like this with them. But anyway, I had to force them to tell me what is making them to feel like that, why they are like that, why they're trying to maintain distance. And then somehow I could be able to pull out from them what is happening, what caused them to feel bad like that. And then they expressed what made them to feel bad 2 years back.
Oh, wow.
Not even a month back, 2 years back. That means I made this family, I kept this family in anxiety, not knowing that I did that for 2 years. Right? 2 years they went through pain. 2 years they went and expressed to someone else, and someone else, they don't know what to do. They're a little worried to approach me, thinking that, she helped in the past, she did something in the past. So we don't want to lose the relationship. They thought if they come and share with me, they will lose the relationship. I understand that point of view also, but then I had to give that comfort that relationship will not, damage or anything, but you just tell me why you're like this. Then they told me, I apologized, and still, Still, it is still the same. And they said, give us some time. Then I had to go. I apologized probably 3 times to the family. Whenever I see them, even if they're okay with one apology, but I just wanted to give the comfort to them. So sometimes it happens in life that we think, like, I'm so close to you. I can say, oh, Rukmini Mataji, you are like this. Maybe I was thinking, oh, Rukmini Mataji is so close to me, she will not take it. But at that moment when I said it, it may hurt you, right? Even though you have that close relationship, it may hurt you thinking that, oh, Vrajabhakti is so close to me. How can she say like this to me? It can hurt you in that aspect, right? Not in a bad way, but she's so close. I thought she will understand my heart better, but still she said like this. In my heart, I'm thinking, oh, Rukmini is so close to me, I can say anything to her. That's my intention. But you took it in a different way, right? So sometimes it happens that we may hurt devotees, but my personal opinion, our realization is, as long as I pray to Krishna to reveal it to me, to help me, because I don't have any intention of offending them. I don't have any intention of creating any pain to them. So I pray to Krishna so he can help me. So that's how I could be able to figure that out with that family. And then that taught me a lesson also, honestly speaking, because as Ramesh Prabhu said, we are here from the very beginning, and whoever came after us, all the time I think they're like my sisters, my sons, my this, my that. So I usually I have little big mouth in the community at some many points of time. I say, hey, come here, do this, or do that, or otherwise say, what is this, what is that, something like that. Then I realized, okay, days are not same. People who are coming and going are not of the same mentality, same heart, So some people are taking it into a painful way. Then I realized, okay, I need to mellow down. I need to make sure, unless until they come and talk to me, unless until they need help from me, I should not go and just tell people to do things what they want to do. If they need something that they wanted to do, okay, I can. If they come and ask me, I'll say, okay, Prabhu, you can do this, you can do that. Otherwise, I focus on myself, my purification. I focus on my services. But at the same time, I wanted to give that comfort to all the families that I'm here if they need me. But from my personal workout, internal workout, not physical workout, from internal workout. So I realized I need to mellow down a little bit and then maintain some kind of respect for, what do we say, distance, not chastising left and right everybody, things like that. That is helping me in my personal life, especially dealing with the Vaishnavas, so that I don't, at least I try not to commit any offenses in that aspect. So I don't know if that is helpful.
Yes, thank you so much for that wonderful and very authentic and sincere, and for sharing your experience. I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Mataji.
And please pray for me that I can also avoid offenses and serve the Vaishnavas.
Thank you.
So Mata, that doesn't apply to me, okay? So you can chastise me at any moment.
No, Prabhu, I'm
And I would
learning.
like both chastisement, so that's fine.
Prabhu,
No
please
problem.
help me to become humble.
So if there are any other questions, please let us know and I'll unmute. Do I see any other hands? For now, I'm not seeing anybody else. Let me check. Anybody in the chat? Sadhguru Prabhu, do you see anybody else in the chat or?
No,
No,
Prabhu,
Prabhu, no hands
I'm
raised.
watching the chat. Nobody is there in the chat.
Okay.
No hands raised so far, Prabhu.
Thank you so much. If nobody has any questions, so we'll move on.
So, Mata, one thing, if since nobody asked one question, let me ask you one question. So, it's a very nice point which you brought up regarding service, like doing service even before it comes up, trying to do service. That's a very exalted state. So can you, you spoke about it, but can you give us more, little bit more tips on how to get there? And I think one of the things in this is very important is we should have our spiritual master's mercy to even to get to that point. That's what I'm thinking. But yeah, if you want to say a couple of points on that, that will be great. You want to elaborate on how we can train ourselves so that we get into that service attitude. So
Even I am trying to learn that aspect of this point, because I heard it. As I said, I theoretically heard it from my spiritual master what actual service means. But when we are in the my this is purely nothing based on Guru Maharaj's lecture or anything. This is my thought when I heard that point. That when we are having these relationships in the community with the different devotees, when we maintain that closeness, automatically we'll come to know about some needs of their life, whether in the spiritual perspective or in any way. So sometimes we don't wait. The thing that I understood is when we come to know that they may need this help, I have to go personally approach them and offer the help. I don't wait until they come and ask me for that particular help. When I
right,
know they need that help, I have to go personally and offer the help and help them. And as you said, it's only that's exalted platform like Guru Maharaj's, all wonderful Vaishnavas, they can see through, they can see foresee the vision, foresee the future. So they could know what is coming in the future and they can help. But I am not there. But at least in my level, say tomorrow, I'm just taking your example, say tomorrow you're doing some service and I know you're going to be out of town next week or something. Probably before even somebody approaches me, I might have to come and ask, Prabhu, you're going out of town, you want me to cover up for your service, maybe Sunday feast or whatever it is. Or if Vasanta Mataji is going out of town, probably I have to go ask, oh, Vasanta Mataji, you want me to cover your Saturday cooking lunch program, because you're going to be out of town. So when we come to know, like, that is only happens when Vaishnavas are ready to share their plans, ready to share what they're going to do in future. But if nobody shares, and if I come to know only through an email from TC that this person is going to be out of town, I will not be able to be proactive. I can
correct,
only act when I see the email. So that's what my understanding is. As when I heard this also for the first time in my 20 years, this particular sentence. The actual service is when you do the service even before the need arises. So even I'm meditating on this sentence a lot, and I'm meditating on this aspect a lot, and I'm like, how would I do?
Mata. Yeah, Mata, I had one more point. Like in terms of emotional support to other congregation members, apart from this service devotional, will that also be considered as part of like a devotional service? Like if we are able to support, I mean, in terms not may not be financial, but emotional support kind of thing.
Yes, Prabhu,
So
that's the biggest help right now in this age of Kaliya devotees needs emotional help. Because when it comes to emotional health, what happens is many times when people comes and share certain things, we wanted to give the solution immediately. My personal way of dealing is I wanted to sit and hear them first, because their heart has to be,
correct,
that heavy heart has to be emptied, first. Let them say it. Let them, if they're crying, let them cry, because that tears brings out some emotion out. So once we come to
right,
know, we have to give some comfort to them, even if they're at a mistake. Sometimes emotional things comes out between family members or between friends. Sometimes they're at the mistake, who are coming and sharing with us, they're at the mistake. Even if they're at
right,
the mistake, we just have to give them the comfort, saying, okay, for now, let us think, give them 1 or 2 days and then let them think. We have to help them to think we have to help them to think what they did wrong. Giving few
correct,
examples of our own life, giving
right,
examples from scriptures. We have to help them to think what they did wrong. Otherwise, if we help them saying, okay, you are crying, so I want to give you support, and you are right, you are right, you are right, they will never learn. Then that is not actual service that we did.
correct, correct.
Right? So emotional support is one of the major service that we have to do to the community, because see in the temple something happened, or between two Vaishnavas or something happened, even in the family something happened. Mainly it relates to either services or between some arguments of scriptural arguments or something else, sometimes between, mostly it's services, right? Some arguments comes because of the services. This service has to be done this way, or this service has to be done this way. What can I share with my mom? If I call my mom, if I say, mom, I want to put Krishna's turban like this, but this devotee said not like that, what my mother will say? My mother is going to say, okay, okay, okay. What will she say? If I call my sister and say, I wanted to put Krishna dhoti like this, but they said it should be below the knees, I'm really upset. What will she say? Nothing. So these are the things that I need to share with the fellow devotees.
Correct.
I need to share with them and I need to express my pain. Oh, I wanted to do like this. Is there anything wrong in doing like that? And if they showed me proper sadhu shastra, scriptural reference and say, yes, this should not be done, this is the rule by DT department or something, then okay, I should follow that. So that emotional support, that communication between the Vaishnavas, it's very much needed. Very much needed. That's one of the biggest service that community needs these days. Emotional support.
Thank you, Mata. Thank you, Mata. So with that, I think we will conclude this discourse. Like, do we have? I don't see any other raised hands or any other questions on the chat also. So Satput Prabhu, can we move on to the announcements, right, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So I have some quick announcements, but very, very important announcements, 3 of them. So let me share those announcements. So one is, like, as all of you know, like this Thursday is the last day of this year, which has been, I don't know what to call this year. So it's like beyond any description. And Friday is like the start of the new year. So new calendar year. So we would like to have a 3-hour kirtan both on Thursday and Friday. So this 3-hour, hello, is what it was. You are all able to hear me, right?
We can hear you.
Okay, bro. So so on Thursday we will be doing us from 6 to 9, and on Friday, the New Year Day, we'll be doing from 10 to 1. And so I'll be sending out the emails will come out, but also I request that in case you are able to lead Kirtan, please contact me so that I can schedule you. And this is going to be on Facebook. All these Kirtans are going to be in half-an-hour slots on Facebook, and in keeping with the COVID restrictions. So that was my first announcement. And the second announcement, a few people might have seen the recent WhatsApp post by Leela Manjari Mataji. This is regarding the charitable contribution. It seems for this COVID thing, the federal government has given up to a $300 charitable deduction. Even this is even for people who are doing who don't itemize and take the direct deduction. So again, more details will be coming out in email. And the only thing I think that's valid only for the next 3-4 days. But till the end, before the end of the year, you'll have to make that contribution. So that's the charitable contribution. So any contribution towards the temple funds is really appreciated. And the third announcement, the most positive announcement, I think, would be the next Sunday we have a very, very special speaker, His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, so speaking to us on the eve of the new year. So please join without fail. And again, more emails will be coming out, and we will really like to have the presence of a very senior Vaishnava. And so these are the 3 announcements from my side. And next announcements will be done by Hari. Again, he has some very, very important announcements. And Hari, you can take over now.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all for giving me your association. Please accept my obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. I'm just here to make a small announcement about our efforts in the Srila Prabhupada Marathon in keeping with his instructions, we are trying to distribute his books far and wide to many places. And I was just reading today, and then so it's in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 8.43, it's recommended. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, "I fervently appeal to everyone to adopt the message of devotion, the method of devotional service given by Lord Chaitanya Nityananda, and thus be freed from the miseries of material existence and ultimately achieve the loving service of the Lord." So the process of devotional service that Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda gave was to spread the holy names far and wide to as far as possible. And Srila Prabhupada recommended that we can do this through our book distribution. So this week has been another momentous week, and it's been frigid. It's been really, really cold everywhere, at least in Ohio, and it's been snowing and Christmas. So, but that has not deterred our wonderful devotees' enthusiasm in distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. So I would like to share my screen, and you guys can take a look at the book distribution ourselves. So here is my screen. There you go. So as of December 27th, which is today, the amount of Bhagavad Gitas distributed in Columbus has been 307. To many, it has been going to different homes, different places, and now in Columbus we have 307 more places of pilgrimage that you all can go visit and and take on your Tirtha Yatra. So so we have actually many other books that we've distributed so far. You can see this is just from the month of December over here, and it's been really good. A lot of new people are taking a lot of books and a lot of excitement. And so our Columbus goal was 250 Bhagavad Gitas at the beginning. His Grace by Sheshika Prabhu messaged us and said, "What's your goal, Columbus?" And then we said 250. And then so we surpassed our 250 goal. And now we're trying to double our score and really smash the goal and really please Srila Prabhupada. And then so every Sunday, if you guys are not aware, that by Sheshika Prabhu has an ISB, it's like the think tank of ISKCON, you know. So it's like they make these little group calls. So this it's called Live to Give Inspiration Calls. And this Sunday was His Holiness Lokanath Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, His Grace Bhima Prabhu. Last week was His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, Her Grace Vishaka Dasi. So I think so on we'll get more speakers. So this is, we have many other ways that you can go share the knowledge with your friends and family. We have these things called Bhakta stacks. If you guys can look at the cameras, these Bhakta stacks are it's a wonderful invention where people are more attracted to it by giving books when you bunch them up like bananas. You never go to the store and buy one banana. You buy multiple bananas, so you can have more. So we just tied them up, and this has Beyond Birth and Death, Chant and Be Happy, Bhagavad Gita as it is, and the Perfection of Yoga, Sri Isopanishad. And there's five books that could change people's lives. And it also has our temple card over there, and it changes people's lives. And people take it for $10. And another one of our inventions was making a little gift pack like this, like Ramesh Prabhu and Vasanta Mataji, my dear parents, they went out on Christmas Eve and they distributed these gift packs to all of our neighbors, 24, which comes in a case. So we made these books right here, and we put a Christmas cookie inside, and we just give them this Bhagavad Gita, and then we also have this little card that we made at CBS for $20, and it's a little holiday card from our family. I don't know if you can see it, and it just says, a little bit about the Bhagavad Gita and why we're giving this to them, the ingredients for the cookies. And on the back we have a little sheet that shows the essential verses from the Bhagavad Gita for different topics like anger, fear, confusion, forgetfulness. If you want verses on forgetfulness, go to chapter 15, text 15. chapter 18, text 61, stuff like that. So these are some of the inventive ways our devotees are trying to distribute books. And it's really inspiring when people come and give me some new ideas. And we're also, a lot of people have been sponsoring a lot of books. And today, actually, right after this, after I go get lunch, where me and a couple of devotees, we're going to go to the fire department. We're going to go to people's homes and try to give people's books. So if anybody has any ideas or anything like that, please send me a message. I put my number and my email in the chat box, and you guys can help and participate. You can put it on WhatsApp or email it to me. If you like to participate and want books, we'll definitely send you books. So please just send me a message and I will get to you. And if you want to sponsor any books, and we will give books to other people on your behalf, you can also contact me. And if anybody has any questions, I would love to take them and be at your service.
Okay, Hari.
Yes,
Question.
Hare Krishna.
I have a request. Could we, because you're the person who announced, could we get also sponsor for something for kids to encourage them? Not for me, so for kids. It's very nice. I see this seminar today morning. When kids approach, people likes more. It take time for them, but people like when the kids come and talk with them and approach them. So please add kids also for sponsor, so to encourage them.
Yeah, in the Vietnam Prabhu from London, England, their goal for Bhaktivedanta Manor was 58,000 books, and they were trying to do as much as they can, the adults, but COVID, people thought they were going to get a break for COVID, they're going to relax at home and everything, but work is probably doubled for some of you IT professionals, IT mahants out there, Mahatmas. But the kids have been doubling the adults in London, England, apparently. So if anybody would like to sponsor some books for kids, it would be a really great way to encourage people, encourage kids, to get into what drives our movement. So I see a question from Mother Rukmini. You had asked before about Motel Gita. Does anyone have motel or hotel contacts? Yes, if anybody has any hotel or motel contacts, we would love to call them up and place the Bhagavad Gita in rooms. Through the Motel Gita, I get very, very emails, and you wouldn't believe how many people come to motels to do horrible things, to engage in so many illicit activities. I've heard even people commit suicide, and they open the drawer, and then there's the Bible, as in every hotel, and then there's the Bhagavad Gita. Everybody knows about the Bible, so they open the Bhagavad Gita. They're like, "Whoa, I've never seen this." So they stop doing what they were gonna do. So if anybody has any hotel, motel contacts, we would love to speak with them. Any other ideas, comments, chastisements as the class?
Thank you so much, Hari. It was really inspiring. You are like pulling everybody to get into book distribution, and then I see a lot of progress this time, even with the winter. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your inspiration. These calls really keep me going. I love all you devotees, and I hope to see you all soon. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, Prabhu, we can close today's call with Vaishnava prayers. Thank you for everybody for joining this call. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyaya paritanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo.
Vaishnavebhyo namo.
Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.